passion. But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't been easy.
Now, I'm staying ahead of it.
Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, so you can have clearer skin and noticeably less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Tomorrow on ET, our exclusive with Ethan and Maya Hawke. We're going to take you inside their unique father-daughter dynamic.
Let me publicly say on Entertainment Tonight that I'm really grateful.
Can't wait for that. Now, before we go, it's a wrap for Prince William in New York City.
It was a quick visit, wasn't it?
He was in and out, but he didn't get away before he got in a little.
Happening now.
San Antonio ISD proposing to shut down a fifth of its schools. Coming up, why a local union says the decision should be left up to families.
Check your mail. 10,000 people in Bexar County are about to get a huge surprise. Coming up, how it can mean a big financial relief.
And I'll be back to chat about our weather for the rest of this week. Rain will be hard to come by for the most part. There is a glimmer of hope for a few days. I'll see you in a bit. The news at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, closing school doors leading to pushback from some parents and teachers who don't want to see the San Antonio Independent School District close 19 different schools in an effort to what it calls right-size the district.
That plan would close 1/5 of schools in SAISD, leading to last night's packed and vocal SAISD board meeting. Daniela Ibarra with what those most affected are saying and why a local teachers union says the board is not who should be making this decision.
Every child has a right to a first-class 21st century education.
Parent after parent pleading with the San Antonio ISD School Board to rethink their proposed plan.
In closing the smaller schools, we strip the community of its very identity and sense of security, as well as familiarity.
The district is proposing what they call right-sizing. It's to adjust to declining enrollment over the past 2 decades. As part of the plan, 19 schools could be shut down. Alejandra Lopez with the San Antonio Alliance says she believes that number should be less.
We've been given no indication that closing this many schools is going to lead to better outcomes and a better future for our students and families.
Most of the schools on the list are elementary schools. Lamar Elementary is one of them.
Regardless of where Lamar lands on this list, as a board, you should be as uncomfortable as I am with any recommendation.
I was proud to send my kids to our neighborhood school. And I think that the district needs to ask itself, are neighborhood schools something that we value?
While the school board is set to make its final decision in November, Lopez hopes the community gets to decide.
These schools belong to the people, and the people should have a say in what happens to them.
Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
It's sworn to protect a now former Bexar County Sheriff's deputy facing several charges for leaving his own two-month-old child inside a vehicle for close to 3 hours. That child now in critical condition. The sheriff's office says 31-year-old Antonio Almares took the baby to the pediatrician yesterday morning for a routine appointment. They then returned home at 10 a.m. But deputies say Almares went inside his home, did not take the baby with him. The child found unresponsive at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. An ambulance rushed the baby to Methodist Hospital, where the infant remains. Almares initially gave deputies conflicting statements about what happened, but investigators were able to piece together what they think actually happened.
A deadly DWI case that was supposed to end in a plea deal and potentially only probation will now be going to trial. The change of plans for Mariana Campos Jimenez, the result of some mistaken advice given to her by her attorney. He told the court that he mistakenly told her instead of getting jail time for involuntary manslaughter, she could get probation. Campos Jimenez was 20 years old when she was first charged in causing the fatal accident in 2020, driving the wrong way on 1604, hitting and killing 44-year-old Gabriel Gallegos. Earlier this summer, she pled no contest.
At that time, when you said no contest out of your own mouth, did you expect to receive deferred adjudication?
Yes.
She actually could get anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison. Because of that, the judge will allow the case now to go to a trial, with a jury expected to be picked before the end of the month.
A new at 5, a jaw-dropping surprise in the mail for nearly 10,000 people living in Bexar County. It may even be life-changing.
It's a notice that says their medical debt has been erased, and it's for real. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz tells us how a company and a nonprofit are going to make this happen.
If you open your mailbox and see this envelope from RIP Medical Debt, it's not junk and not a scam.
We often hear from people, oh, it's, this seems too good to be true. I opened the letter. I couldn't believe it. And, we totally get that, right? There isn't a huge precedent for good news just showing up in people's mailboxes.
The good news, their medical debt is paid. How did that happen? RIP Medical Debt is a charity that buys debt in bulk for pennies on the dollar. This time it was $13.9 million worth in Bexar County. The company Earn In donated the money to acquire the debt. Debt now erased.
What is the catch?
There is no catch. We did it because it is part of our company mission. So we want to give people financial momentum. The first part of that is getting unstuck.
Medical debt is chronic and crippling financially, mentally, and physically, as people buried in medical bills are less inclined to go to the doctor.
So we went out and we looked for places where we could make the most impact. And Bexar County is the largest county with the most medical debt, ranked number 3 in the country.
This gift is not something people can apply for.
We are specifically purchasing the debts of those who are 4 times or below the federal poverty level, or for whom a medical debt is 5% or more of their gross annual income.
If you accidentally throw your letter away, don't worry, your debt is still forgiven. Still, it's a good idea to hang on to it for your records. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
She's one of the world's leading experts on long COVID, and now she's a patient with a message about a unique therapy. Dr. Monica Verduzco Gutierrez runs the UT Health San Antonio and University Health long COVID clinics. A year ago, after a mild case of COVID, she got debilitating exhaustion, rashes, headaches, and more. She realized she too had long COVID, so she went to flow therapy, which is most often used for cardiac patients. You put cuffs over your legs and hips, and then your heart rate leads to electrical pulses.
It's healing your vasculature, it's healing the inflammation, it's decreasing some of the inflammatory markers, it's helping our heart pump better.
And she says it works. Tonight at 6, we're going to break down how these sessions run, and we're going to tell you about this doctor's incredible recovery so far.
We at KSAT extending a personal invitation to you. Join us for the 10th annual Head for the Cure 5K and walk happening this Saturday. It's an event that's near and dear to us because of that man. It's held in honor of KSAT's late news director, Jim Boyle, who passed away after battling brain cancer. All the money's raised to go toward brain cancer research. The race begins at 8 in the morning at Providence Catholic School located on North St. Mary Street. You can register right now for headforthecure.org/San-Antonio. You can get a $5 discount when you use the code KSAT. Look forward to seeing everyone on Saturday morning.
A wave of cyber attacks hitting 2 major Las Vegas casinos, as well as the company that makes Clorox bleach. Now, while casino guests now have their credit at risk from those breaches, the other attack will likely impact the availability of Clorox products at stores.
Cybersecurity experts are working around the clock to get to the bottom of these attacks. But in the meantime, what can you and I do? Jonathan Cotto with ways to arm ourselves from this new digital warfare world.
Caesars paid the ransom. MGM did not. Clorox basically has been pretty tight-lipped.
Max Kilger, a professor of practice at UTSA, understands what's at stake when a cyber attack is successful and says a company's data and their IT systems are the most valuable assets.
If you don't protect them, you could suffer some severe financial losses. You could even have the company be taken down.
San Antonio, while not directly impacted by the attacks, remaining vigilant.
We have NSA Texas here. We have a lot of high-tech companies here that both deal in cybersecurity as well as rely upon cybersecurity to keep their companies and their data safe.
And as a reminder, Kilger says cyber threats can affect anyone at any time.
Change your passwords often, make them different for each account. Don't click on URLs and emails or texts, the usual kinds of things.
And for organizations, one of the things he emphasizes is spending more money on cybersecurity.
Only about maybe anywhere from 7 to maybe 12 or 13% of a IT budget for a company is spent on cybersecurity. And that's not nearly enough.
Kilger says oftentimes companies will bring in experts to negotiate with ransomware demands, but says there are risks.
Maybe only a 50% chance that they'll actually give you the key to decrypt your data and bring your systems back online.
He says some law enforcement agencies actually discourage from paying the ransom.
If you pay it, often that tells the cyber criminal, oh, these guys are willing to pay. And of course, some bit of time later, they'll hit you again.
And to keep up with the digital fight, Kilger says knowledge is the best defense. Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
From cyber traffic to, the motorized kind. This is I-35 at Space Center, and you can see it's a slowdown as you make the curve there. Again, this is I-35 at Space Center.
And unlike yesterday, we don't have anything popping up on the radar today. We had a few isolated showers this time yesterday. Today, it's just sunshine and temperatures well into the 90s. You look at the highs today. Del Rio topped out at 101, 93 for the high in Kerrville. Even Cotulla hit 100. Those were the triple-digit exceptions out there today. Specifically here in town, 96 our high. The average has now dropped to 89 for the afternoon high. And to hit a record this time of year, you typically have to just barely hit 100 degrees. That's our record high set back in 2019. Right now, 97 Eagle Pass, 98 in Floresville. For the most part, we're just sitting tight in the 90s right now. Windcrest 94 along with Bulverde. We'll be back to talk more about the temperature trend for the rest of the week and a subtle change later on this weekend and early next week that gives us a glimmer of hope for rain.
Thank you, Adam. Straight ahead, a man could have used help from 007 after robbers beat him down for his iconic sports car in his own garage. How those crooks were able to get so close to the victim.
And a new device now under consideration by health experts that can help extremely premature babies continue to develop outside of the mother's womb.
I'm Myra Arthur, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. He fired shots toward Loop 410, and he hit a man and killed him who was just driving by. Today, that shooter was sentenced to 25 years for murder, while the family of the victim is another that is frustrated now with the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. Plus, and I quote, a middle finger. That's how a city councilman described city staff's response to his more than a year-and-a-half-old request for a new city office to tackle crime prevention and recidivism. Why a top city official, though, says they tackled that idea the way they were supposed to. And there is a push to get more women involved in forensic science. It's happening at the Bexar County Crime Lab. We'll introduce you to 3 women who are making their mark in the forensic field. That and more today on the News at 6.
Thank you, Myra. Making health headlines today might look like something from a Matrix movie, but an artificial womb is indeed in the works for the FDA to approve. That device being developed to help extremely premature babies survive after birth. But there are some ethical questions. It would act as a womb after birth by delivering oxygen, nutrients, and hormones as infants continue to develop their vital organs. The engineered womb would not replace a woman's womb, but would instead be used for babies delivered earlier than 28 weeks. So far, artificial wombs have been tested in animals, but now it's being considered for human trials.
Another maternity health headline, health experts calling for all pregnant women to be screened for high blood pressure. Today, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force urged doctors to increase screening for hypertension during pregnancy. Gestational hypertension is associated with dangerous conditions like preeclampsia and eclampsia, which can lead to seizures, even comas. Blood pressure screenings are a common practice, but the new guidance is aimed at putting a greater emphasis on BP checks during routine prenatal visits. The U.S. has among the highest rates of maternal deaths, and high blood pressure can be a silent killer. All right, take a look at this. Caught on camera, two brazen robbers carjack a man in his own garage, stealing an Aston Martin. Happened in Connecticut. Police believe the suspects followed the victim into his affluent neighborhood, into that garage. You see the victim in the driver's seat being punched several times, refusing to get out of the car. It's the famous sports car that James Bond drove. The robbers eventually forced the man out and drove off. He wasn't seriously hurt, but police are still looking for the car and those robbers.
Heartbreaking there. And this was almost heartbreaking, too. A family in South Florida heard something crash in their backyard, only to walk outside and see this, a vehicle in the pool with two people trapped inside. The 76-year-old homeowner jumped in and, with the help of a sheriff's deputy, ended up rescuing the driver and a little girl, which was strapped in the back seat. The homeowner says this is the 7th time someone has gone through his fence. He and the family are hoping that the city will now install a concrete barrier to keep vehicles from crashing into his property.
It's happened 7 times?
7 times.
Wow. All right, let's take a live look outside right now. 95 degrees out there. Kind of one of those ditto days, Adam.
Yeah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
You know, I wish we had a few showers, kind of like we did yesterday. At least we had a little bit of activity on the radar to go look into, but unfortunately today we don't. And rain is going to be pretty hard to come by in the days ahead, and no real noticeable fronts in our forecast. We do have a weak cold front that's going to hit Sunday, Monday time frame, but it's not going to really impact temperatures much. And it gives us just a small glimmer of hope for rain. So we'll get into that in a moment. And temperatures above average, but below triple digits for most of us, not everybody. I'll give you a breakdown here in a moment. Let's talk about our weather pattern. A few showers in North Texas. It's good to see that along the Red River and just north of Dallas. And then some highly isolated showers popping up in West Texas. Not a whole lot to talk about in terms of action developing. And one reason is because of the upper level high, the big blue H. It's still to the west of us, but it's creeping its way in, and it's close enough to be influencing our weather, and a fairly significant influence. You notice the farther away you get from it, the more showers you have, especially Utah, all the way into Colorado as well. There you go. You see some shower activity. And there is going to be some rain and some active weather. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be here. Notice that upper level high, big blue H. It dictates our weather here for the rest of the week. More ditto days and more of the same pretty much every day. But the active weather is going to be just to the north of us. If this wasn't here, if the high wasn't here, the door would be open for that disturbance, which is going to stay to the north of us across the northern tier of the U.S. So the upper level high acting as a big blocker and keeping any of that potentially active weather away from us for the rest of this week. Now, notice where the highest rainfall potential is, where that disturbance is traveling, the northern tier of the U.S. and then up and down the Mississippi, basically in the central U.S. Around here in Texas, we could get in on some showers by Sunday, Monday time frame, but don't get excited. Isolated in nature. Right now we have that at a 20% chance. That's it. So isolated, potentially Sunday and then again Monday, especially in the afternoon hours. One of those situations. 95 currently, dew point of 59. Luckily, dew point's down, so we're not talking about a heat index. So the heat index is actually a degree lower than the actual air temperature. But that humidity will be spiking again after sunset. It's going to climb, and you'll feel it, especially in the morning. Look at the temperatures. 96 Rio Medina, 95 in Comfort. Fairly similar readings, just some anomalies here and there. Divine at 100 along with Del Rio. Most of Texas in the 90s at the moment, and 90s actually stretch up the plains. I mean, we're talking 90 in North Platte, 90 in Pierre, South Dakota. We're not the only ones at or above 90. The heat is actually stretching northward as well. That'll change for them when they get that upper system. As for us this evening, clearing sky, southeasterly wind at 10 to 20. You'll notice that a little breezy at times, and that's going to boost the humidity. It's that sea breeze coming off the Gulf. By 10 o'clock, we're 85, midnight 81. Tomorrow morning, we start the day at 75 here in San Antonio. But you get into the hill country and we'll have some readings in the 60s again early in the morning. Then by the afternoon, into the 90s. 97 San Antonio, but 101 in Del Rio and about triple digits in Cotulla. There will be some locations even on the south side, Elmendorf, La Jolla, Von Army, that could briefly hit 100 tomorrow. A lot of sunshine throughout the day. We're not going to have a whole lot in terms of clouds, and that's going to be the trend the rest of this week with just that isolated chance Sunday, Monday. But notice that temperature trend, 96 or 97 every day all the way into next week.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, so you're a Houston Texans fan. Should you be encouraged or discouraged? Throw the record out.
I think encouraged, just because you have a young, exciting quarterback that continues to progress each week. That's my take. But you're still 0-2 to start the season, so a disappointing start. But wide receiver Robert Woods keeps it real with what's at stake. UTSA also disappointed with its recent loss to Army, but there's no time to dwell with top 25 Tennessee on deck.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
For Texans fans, it was another weekend of not liking what they were seeing. The Texans dropped to 0-2 after falling to the Indianapolis Colts and quarterback Anthony Richardson, who would leave the game due to suffering a concussion on this touchdown run. The Texans offense was able to put together a couple of good drives, but overall it wasn't good enough as they lost by 11. Veteran wide receiver Robert Woods gave a realistic response on how the Texans players should be analyzing their level of play.
Unfortunately, if you can't do the job, they're going to get somebody else to do the job. And I think we all have to have the realization of that in the NFL, is that we got a job to do and we have to do it, and we have to do it like our life depends on it. It's our brothers in there, our family in there. We got to make sure DP is running free, that an extra guy is not getting a hit on our backs, our quarterback. We have to care a lot more, I would say.
The Texans will be on the road this Sunday taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The UTSA Roadrunners are in a roller coaster ride of wins and losses. 1 week they're up, but this past weekend they went back down again. The Army running game beat down the defensive front for UTSA, racking up 254 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. The Roadrunners look to regroup this week as they prepare to take on the number 23 Tennessee Volunteers. Head coach Jeff Traylor isn't only looking at the defense to step up, but the program as a whole to learn from these losses.
In my life, where I've learned the most, it's the pain. It's always made me learn the most. I'm one of those people that's motivated the wrong way. I wish I was more motivated by the winning and the joy. But unfortunately, where I've learned the most is the pain in my life. Those are the moments that have caused the biggest change for me. And I'm hoping that's what's going to happen to our team. And when we get to conference play, the pain of non-conference and playing such great teams could maybe start a fire and get us going.
It's a 3 o'clock kickoff between UTSA and Tennessee.
All right. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
The countdown is on. 25 days until our annular solar eclipse. It's on the way. The moon is going to move in front of the sun and obscure most of the sun. It's not the total eclipse, but the annular.
Thanks, Adam, and thank you for watching the News at 5 with us.
See you back here at 6.